closing and wondering how it was going to impact my business, I took this step back and I realized that my body was not performing the way I wanted it to perform. And by saying that, it meant that I was craving this dopamine release. And how did I get that? Honestly, I was addicted to going to the gym. So I look back at this time a year ago or a few days before a year ago, and I actually remember that I'm not ashamed to say that I sat down and I cried thinking, how the hell am I going to survive this next 3 weeks without going to the gym? And that was a big red flag because to me, that showed I needed to do something. To me, that showed that I would not tell my clients they needed to go to the gym every single day to get this released, to get this fix. And that is where I needed to kind of start practicing what I preach. And it was at that point I thought, hang on, I can't take anything else on. I am so stressed out just trying to get my head around this right now. I can't take that much on. And as a result, that made me really think, what do I need to do in order to do this? And I looked at the work that I do with clients and I realized that, hang on, I need to actually treat myself like a client. Because when I get speaking with potential new clients, and I speak with someone and they tell me that, Ollie, I really want to improve my health, but I do not know if I can take this on board right now. That is a flag to me to say, you need this more than ever. And that's exactly what it was to myself. And if you have any kind of relation to this, drop a message in the comments, drop a comment here on the video, and let's interact with this. Because honestly, like when we have that feeling, like I need to hire someone in my business, you need an assistant or someone to grow, or you need someone to mentor you through your business, usually it's a sign we need it more than ever. But we get this defensive side, especially us guys. We get this defensive side that we say, hang on, I need to be able to do this myself. So I will move forward and do this when this happens, or I will improve my health when these things fall into place, when my business looks like this, when my business looks like that. But that overwhelm and that stress that we feel is a sign of inflammation going on within our brain and within our body. Now, every single person on this planet has a certain level of inflammation going on in their bodies and in their brain. Now, one of the problems that we have that differentiates between inflammation in our body, in our joints, and inflammation in our brain is that the inflammation in our brain does not show up as pain. Now, if you bang your arm and you get a bruise, that's the inflammation showing up as a bruise, or you get inflammation in your joints, which is painful, great. You can see or feel that it's there. But in our brain, the way inflammation shows up is not normal, or is not normal compared to the rest of the body. It shows up as brain fog. It shows up as forgetting where you put your keys. It shows up as losing track of the time. It shows up as, you know, that time when you have a conversation with someone and you're looking them in their eyes and then suddenly you think, what the hell did they just say? Literally, I've just been sitting here with this conversation going on and I cannot remember a word they've just said. That's how inflammation shows up. As you're reading a book and then you have to read that page over and over and over again. I know many people that tell me, hey, I can't read very well. Not as in they can't read the words, but they read a page and it does not go into their head. That is inflammation showing up right there. Inflammation is when you seem to flip out. You flip out for no specific reason. The dog is sick and you start saying, oh, why are you sick for? The dog can't help being sick, but you're flipping out for no reason. You get pissed off that you forgot to do something and all these different things. Inflammation in our brain does not show up as pain. It shows up as all these different things: the brain fog, the forgetfulness, the lashing out for no specific reason, waking up during the night, waking up feeling fatigued, having fatigue throughout the day. Naturally, our body does have this little dip mid-afternoon, but honestly, you should not notice your impact in your productivity. And this is what happened to myself. I was so overwhelmed when the gyms closed, when I was not able to travel for my business. And I'm sure we've all had our problems over this last year, but that's when it got too much. And I realized I needed to start working on myself. And here's what I done first, because if I say everything what I done over like the 6 months that followed, for me to actually completely lose that overwhelm and actually feel myself again, yes, I hold my hands up and say I was practicing health coaching and I was not working on myself the way that I would work with clients. I hold my hands up and admit that. And I had to really push forward. But the first thing I looked at doing, where's my blood glucose levels at? So I tested my blood glucose. Am I really craving certain foods? And what is the reason for me craving them? Is it because I need a dopamine release? Is it now that my dopamine release that was happening because I was going to the gym is now making me crave certain foods? Why am I waking during the night? Because honestly, if we think we are waking during the night because we're drinking too much, unless you're drinking a gallon of water before bed, honestly, if we're waking through the night, that is a big, big sign that something is not right in your body. And if you fix that, we get through all this overwhelm, we get through all this kind of worry, this anxiety, this underlying stress in our body, and we start to improve our output and we start to get more clarity in our thoughts. We start to feel more confident and it comes back. So I looked at my blood glucose, I looked at what was I craving, I looked at what I was eating and my hydration, and also was that I wanted to lower the amount of exercise I was doing. And as a result, after a few months of doing this, adding a few supplements, doing some tweaks, my brain function went through the roof. Started feeling awesome. Started feeling more confident in what I was doing. Started sleeping through the night. Started waking up really recharged, having loads more sex drive. And this feels great when you actually feel this kind of amazement in yourself. You look in the mirror and you think, hey, like, I feel like I love you in the mirror. Like, you actually start to love yourself. Now, if you are worried about all these sorts of things, like you're worried that there might be some underlying brain fog going on, you're worried that you need to just have a look at the cravings you're having, you're not sleeping through the night, you worried about these things like your forgetfulness and the fatigue that's going on, the inflammation in your body, simply drop me a message and we'll get on a call and go through my brain screen, anything this, we can have a quick call to see if there's something that I can help you with. No pushy sales. Don't be worried about that side of things. Just simply drop me a message. Let's go on a call and let's go through it to see how I can help you. Because seriously, like, we do not need to be living with brain fog. Do not need to be living with overwhelm. It is a choice, and that choice is yours.